Who the heck is this guy? Tell me more. So, this is an attempt of a bio, about me page, right? My name's Shane. Shane J Cottle. The born and raised is in Utah. Lived elsewhere. Very much back in Utah, caring about community and the roots and the showing up and serving in Utah more than anything right now. So, as a kid, more the farm boy, small town farm boy type thing. Hit teens and 20s, complete rebellion. Have all the fun in the world doing very stupid, dangerous things. I don't regret it. A lot of good memories, a lot of fun, a lot of, I can't believe you did that. To then fall into the 30s and all of that, live large and be very stupid, to finally bite me in the butt. Enter the 30s. Some of the hardest obstacles and trials when it comes to health, all of which are not conquered and tackled. What matters to know about me? Breathwork saved my life just over a decade ago. On the day that I was holding my and was going to do that, a friend intuitively called me, checked in, which interrupted what I was about ready to do. I think they could tell I was not in a good place, feeling like there's no way forward or out or no way to improve or change or do anything. And they gave me an invitation to, hey, tomorrow I'm going to this breathwork thing, this breathwork session. You're coming with me. At that time, I was very meat and potatoes, come from the dairy farm. And I just came from a bubble in a world where the woo-woo things were hippie shit that I made fun of. So when I got the invitation to, hey, come do this breathwork thing, I was saying no to it. I was making fun of it. I was resisting it. I was pushing it away. That was the things I made fun of. I just wanted my Mountain Dew, my steak, my potatoes, and leave me alone and just work harder, be tougher, get through it, push through it. I gave in. I said yes to the invitation. And I showed up and I went and joined this group breathwork session. And I was so resistant at the beginning of this whole experience. But let's fast forward to what matters. By the end of that experience, man, I was cracked wide open. The most pivotal moment in my life. Saved my life, changed my life. Just redirected, spun my life around. And obviously put me on a whole new path that I wasn't previously going to be on if it wasn't for that breathwork session. Matter of fact, the two breathwork facilitators that ran that thing that day, it's crazy to think that I owe my life to them, very literally. Now, given that type of pivotal moment where somebody discovers breathwork when they're rock bottom, I kind of naturally then, for many years, stayed in that thing that I now view as stuck and playing small, but back then I didn't view it that way. But I stayed in that thing where I thought that I was broken and I was the student, and the student always needs to stay the student. Why am I saying that? Because over the last 10 years, I was such a full yes to breathwork, and that was my highest leverage, number one tool, number one practice that changed so many of the things in my life. It's still the tool I use the most to change a lot of the health things that I'm trying to improve. Hey, Kona, come on. Let's not do the get in the road, get run over, get dead thing. Sorry, dog that wanted to run into the road. So, we're back. Yes, breathwork changed my life. And I then went into that false loop of thinking I needed to go get every certification, go through every training, gain every gold star and put in every bit of hours, learning every method and every way under every name and brand in the breathwork world because I wasn't worthy. I wanted to know more for my own self practice, but I had no intent in ever publicly telling anyone, and especially ever feeling like I have any right or any right being a part of anyone else's business. So breathwork was a solo, very student-minded journey for so many years to just change and improve my life, to guide my life. And then kind of accidentally once, while I was up American Fork Canyon, near the river and was doing breath work by myself. Had a group roll up to the campsite next to me and like, hey man, what are you doing? They started asking all the questions. I told them. That turned into like, do you mind if we join? And I'm like, I don't do that. I'm just trying to be left alone right now. They joined. So there I was, unexpectedly, now guiding and leading a group of 8 people through this breathwork session with me. When that evening came to an end, what's your number? And when are we doing this next? And how do we like book you for a one-on-one and this one with my sister? Wow, haven't looked back since. And so for the past, what is it now, 5 years? For the past like 5 years, I've been guiding breath work just under my individual name, very word of mouth. Run into people, it comes up, I let them know and give them my number, and they book a one-on-one like private breathwork session or say, hey, can we do one for me and my friends? And that was it. I never built a website. I never mentioned it publicly on social media, right? When we think, who am I? When we think we're still broken, we're still the student. When we think I'm not perfect yet, not a 10 out of 10. When we clearly see areas in our life that we're still improving and we're still not a 10 and going to wow and impress the public, right? I fell into that. Whew. I'm glad I was in that. I'm glad like my journey was my journey. Leave the people alone, Kona. Thank you, baby girls. So, here's my promise. Here's all I know at this point, because Nia's still brand new. The full yes that I know at this point is I've already, for years now, been showing up consistently for myself. Just me and my dog going for a hike in the mountains and dropping into extremely intense breathwork sessions all alone. So I kind of hit that point where I had to call myself out. Call myself out for how silly and actually how rude that is to not invite others in the community to come join me. And why aren't we doing that together? So I had to have my journey. I had to get to this point to call myself out. Nia right now is not all defined. It's not some fixed price. Pretty much everything right now is a pay what you want type offer. And that's all for a reason. Because starting to say this all publicly out loud, starting to give the invite, not just people I know, but then they share it with strangers, all that's new. But I don't know why I didn't do this so many years ago, because it's already been proving to be so needed for all of us, individually and collectively. Having consistent experiences with a consistent group, having that, yes, it's a group thing and connection and community, but it's an individual self-dedication and building a like routine and a habit out of breath work consistent enough to actually see the changes and the direct outcomes and improvements in the areas that we're like focused on. That's something that none of us can withhold from anybody, and there's no requirement on that. So hi, my name's Shane. I still have dental problems, lower intestine problems, like whew. It's been 7 years now of like trying to completely save a life and a body, literally everything. Like I ran the car for decades without ever changing the oil or putting good gas back in it. Like this vessel, I ran it into the in every which way. You're about ready to die or miserably just be on prescribed solutions from the pharmaceutical or medical world. So hi, I still feel like I'm on my path. I still have areas that I don't feel like I'm good enough yet, or I'm there, you know, just compared against my goals, where I'm trying to get. But I don't care anymore. So I say that because I just want you to know that me and others in this group, we don't care where you're at. I don't care where you're at and where you're lacking and where you're falling short, and where you're great and astoundingly, perfectly successful. Like, I don't care. When you show up, I'm just gonna listen to what you do want to be known and what you do want to be supported and understood and known, and that's it. So just a bunch of people focusing on self and leaving the whole guruing and coaching each other and advice giving and judging out of it. Just people showing up for their dedication to personal excellence, and then accidentally, due to that, really connecting with each other and supporting each other in the most beautiful, compassionate, respectful, professional way ever. That's me. I'll probably take a moment to pause, and if anybody cares or asks, maybe later more will be asked. So maybe later, whatever, I can type it out or record, or I can put here's who the heck I am, and the whole life story and the whole life thing. It doesn't matter at this point. So no, I'm not recording that and wasting your time. It doesn't matter. It's not about me. It's about you. And in turn, it's about me. It's about you. It's about them. Let's show up. Okay? My name's Shane. Ask me any question. There's a contact page on the Nia Breathwork website. Go to the contact page. Ask anything you want. I'm the most open book, transparent person ever. Hi, this is me. I'm imperfect. But you know what I do perfectly? I consistently show up for hikes and breathwork experiences every week, every month. I've just been doing it alone for a long time. So, not doing it alone anymore. Instead, I'm inviting you to come join us. So, come on out.